y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got a story for you from last week. I wanted to bring it to you, but I was in time out, so I just decided to chill and do some work around the house. But this story is about the vice president of the U.S. talking about depopulation, reducing the population. And she actually said that there are videos out there. You can go and find it for yourself. I'm not playing it because I don't want no smoke out these folks. I'm tired of them. But I'm just putting you on to it so that you can go find it, listen for yourself, and understand that there is no more hiding. The gates have been opened. The adversaries are out everywhere. They are not hiding anything. You don't have to worry about clues, codes, symbols, signs. They are overtly, deliberately telling you, even if it's accidental, they are telling you what the plan is. So let's get into it. Vice President Skee roasted over call to reduce population as White House does cleanup. And again, it's tied to climate. So, to me, it might have been a slip, but it was the truth. And you're going to ultimately see what the climate agenda is all about. They never could get away with eugenics, open eugenics. So they've been masking eugenics over the years in other ways to try to get rid of a lot of people, in particular us. Gotta keep it real, gotta keep it 100. We know that they are definitely targeting us. They've always been targeting us. They've always been lying to us, and they've been lying about us. So at the end of the day, everything is to try to prevent us from being around so that we won't find out who we are. We cannot cry out to the Most High, and He can deliver us from this evil. So there's an agenda afoot, and I want to share this story with you so you will have you will no longer be clueless or not understand what time it is, and then you can plan accordingly. So it says the White House broke out the blue pencil after Vice President Skee issued a call to reduce population, editing the official transcript to say pollution. Although some conservatives saw it as a Freudian slip, I saw it the same way. Ms. Harris told an audience at Coppin State University in Baltimore that the Biden administration's goal of cutting greenhouse gas emissions in half by 2030 would benefit the environment and public health. When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water. So you see where it's going. Basically told you you're going to be doing everything with electricity. They're getting ready to do away with gas. If you drive a gas vehicle, you're probably going to have a problem, and we're going to be reduced. And that's probably going to be done in a number of ways. If it's not the lollipops, it will be because of the lack of food, or because of hyperinflation, which I think is coming before the year is over. I think once they announce this BRICS deal and the dumping of the dollar, I think hyperinflation for us is going to be here, and it's going to be here for a long time. So if you have not been stocking up on extra food items, preparing for the next wave of plagues that are coming, they're already out. They already announced them. It's not one, it's two. If you have not been preparing for the grain shortages, there will be less bread, there will be less rice because of the war in Europe, and because India has decided it's not going to export much grain. Just like a lot of the other countries, they are shutting down and only feeding their people because they don't have enough to export. The global economy is changing, and it's changing for a season. I don't know what it's going to look like after the reset. But in order to survive, you need to have things on your own until you can grow your own food or figure out a way to become self-sufficient You got to do that. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. We are on the way to, you will own nothing, but you ain't gonna be happy. You might not even be here. If I don't know how long we're gonna have to be in the thick of things, but you need to be planning for a last minute rescue and a little bit of hell. We don't know when we're leaving, but it got to be soon because I just can't imagine us being here having to go through all this stuff. We might, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather prepare, because we may also, while the curse is over, we still may have to pay the price a little bit because we still disobedient. We still live in sin. We still, struggle to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We don't always keep Sabbath. We don't eat right. It's impossible to do all these things in Babylon. So it's a struggle, but we can still make it. We are built for this time, like no other people. But we gotta prepare, and that's what I don't see a lot of our people doing. So it says the White House crossed out population and replaced it with pollution in the online transcript, but not before the Republican National Committee posted the video clip on social media, spurring alarm on the right. It wasn't just on the right, it was everywhere, because when I saw it, I was like, oh, they telling us to our face. I'm thankful. Not that I didn't already know. I said from day one when they picked her for VP in this ticket, I was like, y'all, it's going to be a wrap. We getting ready to go to World War III. We getting ready to have all these different things. I wish I could go back to the Medium article and show you where I predicted all this stuff was going to happen. And to include having the first black man over the Pentagon, it's just so many things that you just had to know this place was falling apart, and it's got to be blamed on black people. It's just obvious. That's just the nature of this thing. So when you know the op, you know the operations that they use to skirt responsibility, like the narcissistic nation this is. You don't even, I ain't even bother. It's like, okay, I know what the play is because they don't change it. It's the same play, and it's a team sport. So we know they're trying to get rid of us. They've been trying to get rid of us since we've been here and been free. They haven't wanted us here since we could be free. And they're working hard to get us back into enslavement. And a lot of our people are helping them, unfortunately. So don't be those people. Are you the population she wants to reduce? Asked Representative Thomas Massey of Kentucky Republican, and Senator Eric Schmidt, Missouri Republican, tweeted, VP at her name says the quiet part aloud regarding her and other climate alarmists, very anti-human ideology and their desire to reduce the population. And I agree with that statement. The whole agenda was nothing more than to get us conditioned for this time. I just can't believe we fell for it. We recycling bags and recycling cans, and now, no matter what we do, it ain't never enough. So now here we are. We got to die in order to save the environment, but they ain't gonna stop judgment. This earth gonna get hot. It already said it's gonna be destroyed by fire. So it's just the prelude to the end. I don't want to be here. So work on yourselves, people. Work on yourselves. Anyway, calls for zero population growth surged on the left after the publication of the 1968 book, The Population Bomb by environmentalist Paul Ehrlich. But the movement became associated with mass human rights abuses such as female infanticide after China adopted its one-child policy in 1979. Also, the year this book came out was around the same time when Henry Kissinger and a lot of these other, how do I say, these closeted Nazis who were masquerade, also saying that they were Ashkenaz. Those folks created a lot of devastating um, operations around the globe to target certain groups of people, in particular us here in the United States, but they also had a lot of things that they did back on the continent, including messing with the food, feeding them genetically modified food, putting birth control in food. You have to go back to this period and look at the policies that uh, America created and stuck in the State Department. When they created the United Nations, it also helped to further that agenda. It was specifically created to create a new world order, and they've been successful at doing it. People didn't know what was happening, and now here we are. So they're telling us, they're saying the quiet part aloud, that the goal is to reduce the population. The question is, are you going to allow them to reduce you, or are you going to be smart enough to survive what's coming? I'm planning on surviving. Now, I ain't no MacGyver or nothing, but I'm planning on surviving. Pay attention to what these people say, because they are not hiding anything anymore. Pay attention to what they do, because they're not hiding anything anymore. This is a game for the smart people to win. If you are stupid, if you don't like to read, if you don't like to listen, if you can't take bad news, because this is a season of nothing good coming out, unless you are just distracted about worldly things, then perhaps you don't see what's happening. But there are a lot of things happening, and I anticipate when they have this BRICS meeting in August and dump the dollar, make the official announcement, it's going to be chaotic. We're going to be dealing with hyperinflation. Food is not going to be affordable. People who did not plan are going to struggle. From my understanding, they are getting ready to give out more stimulus benefits. I was told this from some people who got notices from the state agencies that they deal with. So I just have this impression that we're getting ready to be locked down. They're going to give parents more food stamps to buy groceries. They want people to stay at home. I mean, it's just so much. It's really overwhelming. It's so much to think about. I can't even tell y'all all the stuff that I have read over the last week. I'm going to try to go back and bring you those stories. But what I want you to understand is you need to prepare, period. You need to prepare to be without power. You need to be prepared for anything, any way you can be uncomfortable. How you going to do your laundry? You need to have you some powdered laundry detergent so you can do those clothes in the bathtub like we used to have to do back in the day when we were poor. I remember, my mom used to not be able to afford to go to the laundry, and she would have us put our clothes in the bathtub, and we would wash our clothes by hand in the bathtub. And um, we just did what we had to do. It's just life. So there are ways to navigate a lot of things, but you got to be prepared for them. So y'all need to really be thinking about hard times coming, trying to navigate what's happening. But we got to have food, we got to have water, we got to have shelter. Um, you need pesticides and things to keep you warm, some way to try to keep you cool. Um, I don't care if it's nothing but a beach umbrella. You can stake in the ground outside in your yard. You can sit outside and get some cool air, solar fan, whatever you float your boat, whatever you can afford. Figure out a way to do something. Like, you don't have to be super rich to plan to survive what's coming, but you do got to be super smart. And that's something our people, unfortunately, because we are averse to reading. We on the short bus when it comes to that. We like entertainment. We like easy. The majority of our people, not all of us, but the majority of our people want somebody else to do the hard work and heavy lifting to tell them what is coming. Tragically, we are headed for something real bad, and I don't know if I just don't know what's coming. But what I do know is if you don't prepare, you will succumb to it. They've already told us what they're planning on doing. So be about your Father's business. Follow those laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep praying. Keep prepping. Keep trying to watch for what they're doing. Listen to what they are saying. And keep your head down. Keep your mouth closed. Share with those who want to know. Those who don't want to know, may God take a liking to them. I don't. I just don't even waste my time anymore trying to tell people. I put my head down and I do what I need to do, and that's all. That's all we can do. Use your money wisely. Don't waste your money on anything frivolous in this hour. I'm not saying don't relax and have some downtime. We all need that to escape a little bit. But don't ever get so caught up that you forget that we are living in an age of depopulation. And so you need to be consistent about doing something to ensure you're able to make it and protect yourself and your stuff that you accrue for this next difficult phase that we may have to go through. So prep like you are trying to be here and survive. You don't want them to take you out because you were not prepared. So consider this a warning, y'all. This is Marley K, and I'm out.